Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of June 12th through June 16th. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch. We'll talk about our stocks, individual stocks, ETFs, etc., and our top swing trading stocks to watch list, our bullpen, our shopping list, etc. We'll also talk about our strategies relative to dividend payers, and we'll look at opportunities there as well as our options trading strategies as well. So stick around, we've got a lot to cover, and we'll get started. Welcome, Walter Lyons, MD. Thank you both for joining us in the live chat today. Hope you're having a good weekend. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We put these Google documents are publicly accessible. You can find a direct link to this Google document with our notes in the description box below. We store all of the documents for our weekly trading game plan notes in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to them. And again, you can find a direct link to this Google Drive folder in the description box below. And as you'll see, our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, all the tools we use, a quick reference to the stocks on our watch list, etc. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, titled Will the Fed Pause or Skip in June, we would highly recommend that you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, our strategies, trade ideas that provide the input to selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch. So again, we'd highly recommend you also view part 1 as well. Welcome to Ricky Khan, Raz, glad to see you all. Hope you all are doing well. So firstly, we'll go through a series of the trades that we made. We had quite a variety this past week. So firstly, we got stopped out of our long position in BDRY, which is the ETF on dry bulk shipping. We entered in on May 30th at 611. We got stopped out on the 6th of June at 654 for an ROI of about 7%, equates to a 30-day ROI of about 30% on this scalp trade on BDRY. So congratulations to all of our other fellow BeachBum traders who profited from that scalp trade in BDRY. And you'll see that we're going to watch BDRY and see if we can do another scalp swing trade on that one again. Welcome, the blind trader, Easy Mike. Glad to see you all today. Thank you for joining us. We finally were able to buy back the cash secured put that we had sold on Disney at 85. We'd sold it on the 24th at 117, bought it back on the 9th at 5 cents for a net premium profit of 112. So again, we'll continue. We've done this numerous times, scalping the cash secured puts on Disney. So if Disney drops below 90 again or so, we'll do this again, rinse and repeat, continue to generate our own cash or our own dividends by scalping these puts in this way. MP materials. So we've been trading MP materials lately. We got stopped out of our latest position in MP. We entered on the 1st at 2047, got stopped out on the 5th at 2161. So about a 5.6% profit on that, equates to a monthly profit of almost 42%. So I know several of our other BeachBum traders took this trade in MP and hopefully made a nice profit on this scalp swing trade on MP. And you'll see that's another one we're going to try to do again. We were also finally able to buy back our cash or our covered call. We had sold on our position in TMF. So we sold one out at January of 25 at the $13 strike. We sold it at 140. We bought it back at $1. So we got a net premium profit of $40 per contract on that one. And that's again another one. We still have a position in TMF, and we'll just keep selling covered calls, buying them back cheaper, generating our own dividends against our position in TMF. again, as we talked yesterday, we might see some volatility in the Treasury market with both the Fed interest rate hikes and or the deluge of bonds hitting the market from the Treasury after they raised the debt ceiling. We also got stopped out of our long position in TROX, so we entered on the 31st of May at 10.99, got stopped out on the 8th at 12.32 for a very nice profit, 12%. So that equates to a 30-day profit of 45%. Congratulations again to all our fellow BeachBum traders who also profited from these trades in TROX. And actually, TROX has pretty much run away, as you'll see, but we have another stock in the same kind of category that we're going to be watching. So, but I like TROX. We'll trade that again if we get the opportunity. Blind traders asked about AT&T. Remind me when we get to our Q&A section of the blind trader, and I can take a look at AT&T at that time. But again, please remind me in case I forget. I think lastly for our trades for last week, we got stopped out of our long position in wheat, WEAT, which is the ETF on wheat futures. And we entered on the 30th at 606, got stopped out on the 6th at 632 for about a 4% ROI, equates to a weekly or monthly of about 18%. So I hopefully some of our other fellow BeachBum traders also profited on that one. And again, you'll see, and we talked about wheat yesterday, looked at the futures, and we're going to try to play this one again as well. So just a quick reminder, and then we'll jump over and look at the charts for all those trades. If you want to get real-time trade alerts when we enter or exit a trade, you can get that information via any level of our Patreon. As soon as I can, and when we make a trade or exit a trade, I post that. You get email notification through our Patreon. And also then we also have channels that our Patreons have access to in our Discords. We have 2 alerts channels that our Patreons have access to. I also have Thinkorswim price alerts that get automatically triggered and then posted to this Thinkorswim alerts channel. And then if we follow that up with a trade, I would post that also in the Thinkorswim channel. And then also you can see when we exit trades, I post those in those channels as well. If I'm making a trade that's not related to a Thinkorswim price alert, like some of these options trades, then I post that in the trade alerts channel and also through our Patreon. So again, I never recommend that anyone blindly follow us or anyone else in and out of trades, but if it would help you succeed, make money in your trading career, to see when we're entering and exiting trades, again, you can get those real-time trade alerts with any level of our Patreon. So let me grab a drink a second and we'll jump over in Webull and quickly go through all those trades we made last week, and I'll also show you a neat trick that I found in the online version of Webull. You can see again, Webull's offering 5% interest rate on idle cash in their cash management tool. If you're a new client, they're also offering, still 12 free fractional shares if you fund an account in Webull. So again, if you're not already using Webull, it's our favorite platform for trading. We do a lot of our market analysis, also our due diligence as well in Webull. And if you'd use our affiliate link in the description box below, or just put that up in the banner as well, we'd appreciate it. Help support our channel as well. So I'm using the online browser version of Webull, and one of the, as you can see, you can have all kinds of different watch lists in Webull. And the neat trick that I found recently is if you're on the watch list tab on Webull, and I typically watch this, I build the watch list, add, maintain symbols here, but you can double click on any of these rows and it will jump you right to the stock screen for that stock in Webull. Typically, I'm watching our current positions and possibly our watch list in a version of Webull, and I've sorted by, top gainers or top losers, as the case may be. And I find that double click jumping to the stock screen to be very helpful. So I hope that tip also helps you. So you can see here's our trade on BDRY. I'll have to remember the date. So 5:30 to 6:06. So you can see we got in here on this dip, rode it up. When it rolled over, then below that pivot point, we took our profits. So that's, we didn't catch the whole move, but, we got the majority of the move. And so we made a nice profit. And again, we'll try to play this one again. We'll probably set our price target down to that recent low, or just watch and see how it plays against this pivot point. Again, Disney, we had sold a cash secured put when it was declining, and then we bought it back as it rose back up. So again, if it rolls over again, we'll play that game again. MP Materials. So we entered on the 1st, exit on the 5th. So we got in, off that bounce here, rode it up on the 5th. When it rolled over, broke through that pivot point. We took profits. And as you can see, if it continues to decline, we'll try to scalp that one again as well. Crow, welcome, Crow. If I hadn't already said hello to you, how do you add those support resistant lines in Webull? It's super simple. Is if you find the indicators on the upper part of the stock screen, you can see one of the frequently used, or you can go to all indicators, find pivot points, and just turn on the pivot points. So if I turn that off, you see all those support resistant levels disappear. Turn it back on, and you can, like I said, quick and easy to show pivot points in Webull. And there's a similar feature in Thinkorswim as well. I think it's called pivot points as well. So I also use the pivot points in Thinkorswim. So I hope that helps, and I hope that answers that question. TMF, again, we had sold a covered call against a long time ago. Treasury's been declining a bit. Also, we benefit from the decay in options in this case, so we were eventually able to buy this back. And again, that's another one. If Treasuries go back up, then we'll try to sell covered calls against that position again. TROX. So we bought on the 31st at about 11, exit on the 8th. So you see it made a nice run up. We didn't quite catch the bottom, but pretty close. It ran up. And then when it rolled over, we took our profits there. You can see that's where I had my stop. And we see it dipped pretty severely, and then it bounced right back up right now. And you can see it's significantly higher than where we bought in. So we'll wait and see if TROX comes back down. But that was a nice play, nice profit. Same thing with wheat. So we kind of caught the bounce from wheat, 5:30 to 6:06. So there's 5:30. It probably didn't quite get the bottom. Yeah, it dipped a little bit below, but then bounced back up, rolled over, broke through the pivot point. So we took our profits out. You can see where I had that stop placed essentially right below that pivot point, that longer term pivot point. And again, if it rolls over, we'll probably look for it down in this 588 range. And we saw yesterday, it looked like wheat might be topping, might roll over, and if so, then we'll play this again, rinse and repeat, and keep scalping profits as we're able. MD says he loves pivot points. Yeah, a lot of people, and this is a little difference between, how I trade versus other people. Other people are probably much more technical than I am, better at technical analysis than I am. But I keep it simple. I like to just use the pivot points that are available. It's quick, simple. Now, I do compare the pivot points in Webull and Thinkorswim, and I believe I have a video. It may be in my protect your profits video. I usually use the lowest common denominator in terms of the pivot points, in terms of where I put my trailing stops, just to be a little bit more conservative. So now we'll look at our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. So this is what we've got on our real-time watch list. So this is what I'm watching real time, and also run automation on. I get alerts as to when these stocks are approaching the price targets that we've set. We talked about BDRY. We're going to try to play that one again. DNN, I'm going to take off the watch list, as we'll see. DNN has already run up. Uranium's run up. Again, if we see that sector rotation, hard out of uranium, I would be looking again at DNN, and UROY are our favorites for swinging uranium. And you'll see we've got UROY on our watch list. We looked at yesterday the Nikkei's run way up. It's at a multi-year high. Did retrace slightly. But it does look like it's pushing back up. We talked about this last week, and you can see this bonus video via the link in the notes here. Hasn't been released yet, but we went in more detail about how to trade the Nikkei, trade Japan using EZJ is the long. We're looking for the short when it tops and rolls over. So I'm watching for a top both in the futures, and the future symbol in TOS is /NKD. And so I'm watching EZJ, NKD for a top, a rollover, and then we would look for a turn up in EWV to go long. So again, you can hear more and see more about that thesis in this bonus video. I'm going to take IPI, potash. This was our potash play. Hopefully some of you caught that. It ran pretty quickly, and I didn't catch the run up, so I'm going to let that one go. Not going to chase it right now, but again, that we can track that in our ETF spreadsheet as well. METC is our play on coking coal. So as we've been talking about the sector rotation, how to play that sector rotation in and out of coking coal. So we're watching for an opportunity at METC. Talked about MP Materials. If you want more information, we've got a previous due diligence video on MP Materials, why we like it. OPP, I'm going to take off right now. It's already run up. That's that fixed income bond fund, and it's significantly run up. I've heard there's a significant inflow into those fixed income bonds recently, and that's probably driving it up. PALL. We talked about PALL, palladium. We saw that big dip in the palladium futures in yesterday's part one, and we looked at PALL in the ETF spreadsheet, and that's the one we're going to look to take advantage of that extreme drop in palladium using the PALL ETF. So I pretty quickly added that to our bullpen when I saw that drop in the palladium futures, and then pretty quickly moved it up to our real-time watch list. We're going to take SATs off, EchoStar. Again, it's already run up partially with tech. We talked about trading short semiconductors. We looked at the semiconductors, SOXL and SOXS yesterday. We did more detailed analysis of this trade. I think it was last week, and you can see that more detailed analysis using this bonus, the link to the bonus video in the notes. It's still under construction, but you can view the video, and that's fine using this bonus link. UROY, we talked about uranium. Just a heads up, on Friday, UROY filed a mixed shelf offering of up to $130 million. I didn't see an effect notice on that, so it may not have gone into effect yet, but watch out when that goes into effect. They could drop, an offering of up to 130 million. That would be a dilutive event, so obviously that would cause a decline. So again, we're going to watch UROI for an opportunity. Just be careful with that mixed shelf sitting out there, that when they drop it, obviously that's going to cause a decline in stock price due to dilution. So, and that could happen anytime after that shelf offering goes into effect. You can hear about, why we like DNN and UROI as our playing the sector rotation in uranium in this link to our best uranium stocks to buy now link in the notes, and also on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. USOI is the monthly dividend paying ETN on oil. We saw oil did decline back down to just above 70. If we get another dip down below 70, we'd be looking for an opportunity to pick up this nice, very healthy monthly dividend payer. It'll probably go ex-dividend again around 619, and again in our dividend payer spreadsheet we can see if we have an updated date for their next ex-dividend date. Again, we're using the bottom in crude oil, WTI, below 70, somewhere between 70 and 64. I also heard, I guess the government's looking to refill the SPR, the Strategic Petroleum Reserves, at like between 68 and 70 to 72. So 68 is going to be kind of there's going to be support at 68, kind of a floor there. So hopefully that helps. And then wheat, we talked about wheat already. We want to play that retracement in wheat if we can. Just a reminder as well, our Patreon members have access to an automatically generated web page that contains our current watch list, including price targets, dividend information, optionality information, etc. So if I make any changes intra-week to that watch list, our Patreon members will have the most updated watch list. If I make any changes more frequently, we have a channel that our Patreon members have access to in our Discord. So again, if I post, or here I posted that news about UROI, you can see when I added Palladium, PALL, to our watch list during market hours when I saw that drop in Palladium. So again, if I make more frequent updates to our watch list, I post that in this stocks watch list channel in our Discord, which our Patreon members have access to. So again, if you'd like that information, you can join any level of our Patreon and get access to the automatically updated web page, and also this channel in our Discord. Welcome, Smoked Tuna. Thank you for joining us. Let me grab another quick drink, and then we'll look at the charts for our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. Okay, we already looked at BDRY, so again, I'd probably be looking at this, down at the most recent low at 559. Look for a little bit of a retracement bounce. Talked about EZJ as the long on Japan, so you can kind of see both of these guys, EZJ and EWV, are pretty low volume, low float, very choppy. So you kind of have to put your orders in it probably ahead of time. Look at the level 2 to determine where the big orders, where the support levels are, but we can see where the recent high is. Question is the Nikkei going to push even higher? If it peaks here. It looks like there's pretty good resistance line just above that. So if that's the top, then we would then go along on EWV. But again, I'm going to base it on the top in the Nikkei and not so much on the bottom in EWV. METC we've watched before, so you can see it looks like it might roll over again. That's the sector rotation out of coking coal. MP most recent bottom about 2022, looks like it rolled over, so we'll see if it comes down here or somewhere in the 21 area. It dipped just briefly below that previously. It's got plenty of potential upside, so we'll just see. It made that bounce, rolled over. We'll see if we get another touch down there. PALL, we see a longer term chart. So it's pretty low. So that previous low back here was about 120. 120.01 is where I'm looking for it. So it's pretty close. See that significant decline. We got that support level there. So this guy, I missed the last bounce. As you can see, it bounces pretty quickly. So maybe I can catch the bounce this time. So we talked about SOXL and SOXS. So again, use SOXL to determine the peak. And then that 2484 looks like that's the top I'm watching right now. We'll see if we get a push up. We can see, resistance line in that 24 area. So if we get another just push up rejection in that area, then I want to go long SOXS, short semiconductors. So the bottom you can see is about 1044, but again, this guy's a leveraged ETF. I think Walter pointed this out and helped explain this yesterday, that the leveraged ETFs have a decay, so it's going to continue to decline, over time. So it's better to watch the long side for a top and roll over than a bottom in the short side. UROI, again, it's pretty high. It hadn't run quite as far from our price target as DNN had, but uranium's run up quite a bit. So if it continues up, we'll let it go. But if we do get a rotation out of uranium, at least this one's a little bit closer to our price target. But you can see, it made a significant run. We made some good money. There's a pivot point there, so we'll see if we get a rejection, a sector rotation out of uranium. USOI, again, this is oil, so around 70 is good. 67 area is even better, but again, that's based on the actual price of oil. So once it dips below 70, we're just looking for a bottom and looking for an opportunity to get into USOI. Short term, again, if you want to day trade, scalp oil, Gush is what we use. You can use Gush or UCO to long oil, and drip SCO to short oil. And then again, here's our trade in wheat. So I'm going to cancel that stop. That was just show you where our stop was. Again, we'll move our price target line down to about this 588 level, and we'll see if we get that rollover in wheat. So our bullpen stocks, for anybody that's new to our channel, the concept of the bullpen stocks are ones that I'm not watching real time. I revisit them at the end of the day. And when I'm going through my queries, etc., if something looks like it might be presenting an attractive setup in the near future, we'll put it in the bullpen. Then at the end of the day, I'll revisit it. If if the setup has improved, we'll put it in the game, move it up to our main real-time watch list. If it runs away or breaks down, then we'll just take it out of the bullpen. But again, it's not something I'm watching real time. It's ones that I just revisit at the end of the day and make a decision. So as you saw, we moved EWV up into our real-time watch list. That was in our bullpen. When we saw that rejection off the peak in EZJ, looked like it might be an opportunity. It might be topping, so we put that in the game. Yesterday we looked at FANG U and FANG D. It's a little bit risky since they use those FANG stocks as a flight to safety, a safe haven, but it did look like there might be an opportunity where FANG U might be topping, and if so, then we can short the FANGs using FANG D. Again, these are leveraged ETFs, so I use the top, the long to determine the top and roll over to then go long on the short inverse ETF. MJ is the cannabis ETF. I think we briefly looked at this in the ETF spreadsheet yesterday. Looks like it may be achieving a stable bottom. I've got it in the bullpen. I want to see, is this really a stable bottom? Cannabis has been declining for a long time now, so maybe maybe it's time for a new hype cycle in cannabis. So I don't know of any major catalysts upcoming offhand, but it does look like maybe we're getting a long-term swing back into cannabis. And there's two ETFs to watch, MJ and MSOS, I believe is the other one. And MJ's got a little bit better risk-reward profile. PALL, you saw we put that in our real-time watch list. Here's the other one I found that's similar to TROX. That's that titanium nitrate chemicals company that we just made a nice profit on. And again, we saw a rotation out of the chemicals industry in the groups and sectors in FinViz. So I was looking for somebody else. I was checking TROX to see if it was still an opportunity. And I found this VHI. Look like it may present a better risk reward than TROX right now. It also pays a dividend. So when we get over to dividend payers, I'll show you the dividend information, and also we can look at some of the details, the profile for VHI, Valhi Inc., chemicals company. It's actually kind of a conglomerate, so it might warrant a further due diligence video. So let me grab a drink and we'll look at the charts for those bullpen stocks. Smoke Tuna says Valhi sounds like a knife. I don't know. That's cool. Trivia. So just a quick reminder too, we're not financial advisors. None of this is financial advice. This is all of our contents for entertainment and education purposes only. So I'll put that banner up. And again, do your own due diligence, make your own trading decisions. So we talked about FANG U and FANG D. So again, we're looking for a top in FANG U. We zoom that out a little bit. It looks like it's getting rejected right around that pivot point. So if that continues, if that is a top, then we'll look at shorting the FANGs. So as you can see, that's a long-term pivot point. So again, it may be topping, might be an opportunity to short the FANGs. Again, we want to be careful because it does have a long way to run. And again, there's a leveraged ETF, so it's going to continue to decay. So watch the long. Here's MJ. This is the cannabis. Again, it looks like it's got a reasonably stable bottom finally at around 3. So it finally went lateral around 3. So we'll see if this holds. If it starts to swing back up, that might be a nice swing trade in cannabis. Here's VHI, that Valhi. And you can see their dividend payment history. So it just went ex-dividend on the 2nd, pays about 8 cents a share. We zoom out a bit. Looks like it recently bounced around this 12. So again, we'll keep an eye on it, see if it comes back down. Again, this is that titanium nitrate and other chemicals. So a chemical play, a basic materials play on a sector rotation out of basic materials, which we're kind of seeing right now. So good morning, Alan Krantz. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you as well. So in terms of our shopping list, not much has changed. We always recommend you have your shopping list ready. Now, again, with the Fed interest rate decision coming up this week and the CPI, PPI, we might get some volatility as those occur. So if you've got stocks you really want to hold long term, have your list ready. Just again, we recommend staying away from zombie stocks, zombie ETFs. Again, with interest rates, whether they hike this week or not, interest rates are still high. Those that have high debt, especially if they have to refinance the debt, they're going to be at risk of becoming insolvent. And or they might have to dilute in order to raise funds because you can't there's a credit crunch. So again, I just stay away from zombie stocks, in my humble opinion. So now we'll quickly look at our dividend payers. We'll look at that VHI. Just a quick reminder, our All Access and VIP Patreons have access to our various spreadsheets, our Google Sheets, including our dividend payers, our ETF comparison, and our puts ROIC spreadsheets. So you have 24/7 access to those, so you can construct your own, dividend payment schedule, be it weekly, monthly, etc., using our Google Sheet. So we'll take a quick look at that. If anybody has any other dividend payer stocks you want to take a look at, just let me know. I believe that MJ also pays dividend, or had paid a dividend in the past. I'm not sure if it's currently paying. So we see the last payment was back in 2022. So I'm not sure if they discontinued the dividend on MJ or not. If we look at VHI real quickly, so we can see that's not it. So we see it pays an 8-cent dividend with ex-dividend on the 22nd. So adjusted yield's pretty nice because it's got, decent price appreciation. It's not quite the 2-to-1 that I would like, but longer term, it's pretty attractive. And again, it pays a quarterly dividend. So the other thing I was going to show you, and we'll pop over to VHI's profile. So you can see in the notes column in our dividend payers, it's got the direct link to their FinViz profile, so we can very easily jump over, look at more details of this guy. It looks like they make money, got $2 billion in sales, so that's why I thought that one was attractive. I don't want anybody that's not profitable. Very low float, so again, something to consider. Debt's a little bit questionable. The target price is actually below, so the sentiment's pretty negative. It's not optionable. But if we look at the profile, again, they are making some money. They have made money. Revenues declined a bit. You see they had a recent loss. So again, this might be a turnaround play. And again, it was quite a bit of a conglomerate. They've got real estate and stuff like that, inorganics. But I liked this titanium angle, as it's very similar to that TROX. So it's a chemicals, but it's quite a conglomerate as well. So again, this may warrant more due diligence to see what all these various components are with VHI. So again, I just wanted to show you can quickly and easily, access the FinBiz profile for any of the dividend payers using our Google Sheet as well. So does anybody else have any others they want to look at in terms of dividend payers? Here's the TROX was a dividend payer. So again, in here you can see the dividend they pay, ex-dividend, when it's actually going to be paid. So again, you could set up your own dividend income strategy using this Google Sheet. If you want to have a dividend paid every week, etc., you can look at it in the frequency, whether it's quarterly or monthly. So you can put together, so you get some kind of dividend payment every week if you'd like. And all year long if you'd like. So this could be a whole income stream based on dividend payers. So and you can find the ones that have the dividend, and you can balance out the adjusted yield, the price appreciation versus the dividend payment based on whatever your current situation needs, etc. Preferences are. So I hope that all helps. And if you'd like us to do the research on any other dividend payers, just let me know. You can tag me in the Discord, at BeachBum Trading. So if you have any questions, if you'd like us to do research on a dividend payer, on options puts, as we'll see as well, tag me in the Discord. You can also contact us via our other communities. So we've got a Facebook group, a Reddit community. You can direct message me via any of the social media links. You can find all these under the link section on our homepage, which is beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U, and I'll put that up in the banner as well. So again, any questions, if you want us to research something, do due diligence on a stock, just let us know. Quick reminder, we've got dividend hikes and cuts now are automatically posted in the investing channel in our Discord. So that channel and really all the others other than the ones I pointed out earlier are free to join. I'll put the invite, you can find the invite to our Discord in the description box below, as well as on our homepage. And again, you can see dividend hikes, dividend cuts, get automatically posted to the investing channel. So we hope that helps. And you can see all the videos, how we built, how we use this dividend payers spreadsheet. And we've got, a whole series on how to find the best dividend paying stocks. So you can use this link to watch the evolution of how we've grown this list of dividend payers and how you can use it to construct your own dividend income streams. How do I go get to the Google Sheet? If you join our Patreon Raz, then you will get access to all of these Google Sheets. And it's all access or VIP level of our Patreon has access to all of our Google Sheets. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about our option strategies, and we'll look at opportunities for selling puts. And you can see the logic behind our option strategies. We sell and buy back covered calls against our existing positions, and we sell puts, buy it back cheaper. We sell puts when something's going down, buy it back when it's bouncing back up. Collect essentially a self-generated dividend. We'll take a look at our put spreadsheet. And again, our all access and VIP Patreons have access to this as well. And I'll show you one that I added, and we'll look at that in a second as well. So one that I added to the research tab, I use that options ROI tool that's available in that Google sheet as well. And I found CarMax, KMX. The 721 looked kind of interesting at a 55 strike price. So we could take a look at that one. It's in the research tab, so I'm just kind of watching it right now. And just a quick reminder, we've got a whole series of videos on, how we built this puts ROIC Google sheet, how you can use it to identify opportunities to sell puts. Now we're selling really all of them as cash secured puts because we're doing most of our trading in our retirement account. And we also have, so that series is called Option Strategy for Beginners with Examples. You can access that series via this link. And we have a whole playlist on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel on our option strategies, how to sell covered calls, etc., how to sell puts, etc. You'll also see I rolled over the majority of the expiration dates to the 21st on, I guess it was Friday, so that I would be able to pick up the data. So for those options prices for July, I also rolled over. We had a sell out on Moderna for June. That one, the premium wasn't very attractive. It never did sell. So now I've put that back out there for July at 560. So it's a significantly higher. You can see the Friday high was 360. So I've still got a sell out on TQQQ. And I've still got a sell out for January 24 on Amazon at 80. But those are the only ones. I canceled the one on Tesla. And those are really the only ones that are showing, over $1 right now. So those are the only ones I see that are potentially attractive right now. So on the research tab, I added CarMax. So it will get automatically populated the next time our automated systems run. But I did identify, that has the potential to be interesting. And again, we can, there's a direct link to CarMax. I'm not that hip on their business in general, but it does look like they make money. So I'd be okay if I end up with it, around 55. So that's a pretty low price. So if the premium's, over $1, once we get that data, then, I might move that one up to the watch list. So again, if you'd like us to run research on, any puts, just let me know. And again, our all access and VIP Patreons, you can see this during the day. All the white columns get automatically updated using Google Finance functions, and then the gray columns get updated at the end of the day by our automated systems. And again, I go through this list every day, and then I also use this option seller ROI tool to look for things that may be attractive. Plug in a -30 delta, and again, I want somebody that's profitable that I wouldn't mind getting stuck with if I happen to get assigned. So, but end of the day, that's part of my end of day process to identify any possible additions, and then we'll add them to the spreadsheet. I would post it in our watch list channel if I make any last minute changes. Okay. So I know someone was asking about AT&T. Let me grab a drink. We'll look at AT&T. Question I've been meaning to ask the community in general is, how may we improve our weekly trading game plans and really all of our content, our community, etc., to add more value for all of our BeachBum traders. So we'd love to hear your comments. You can put it in the comments to this video in our Discord or other communities, etc. But I'd like to know from you, what can we cut out? What can we add? How can we make this all of this more value to all of our BeachBum traders? So we'd love to hear your feedback. So let me grab a drink. We'll look at AT&T. If anybody has any other last minute stocks you want to look at, we can do that. Okay. So another quick way to get to FinBiz is you can go to the links on our homepage. Again, BeachBum Trading, got all our trading tools, quick links to all the tools I use. So we can jump over to FinViz. I believe AT&T is T. So it looks like it, bounced off the support recently. That's a Head and Shoulders. They're pointing out the Head and Shoulders, so that's a very negative, pattern. They're losing a ton of money. Don't like them. That's pretty simple. Yeah, it pays a 7% dividend yield, but of course that dividend yield's inflated because their stock price is way down. Huge debt, tons of shares. Yeah, I don't like it. Again, day trading. If you want to, it looks like it bounced off that support. Looks like it hit the moving average and getting rejected off the moving average. So I would suspect it'll probably do that again, get rejected, bounce down, bounce maybe back up off this trend line. But again, you got a very bearish, very negative pattern, Head and Shoulders. It's downtrending. You got overhead resistance by the moving average, losing a ton of money. It's in telecom, old telecom. So they're now getting competition from cable companies like Spectrum, Comcast, etc. So yeah, I don't like AT&T. I hope that answers the question. Yeah, we talked about Boyle. Yeah, talked about natural gas yesterday. Again, you can day trade, short-term scalp, Boyle and coal. But again, my humble opinion, it's pretty much range bound between right now 2 and 250, longer term between 2 and 3. Unless we get a longer term swing trend. And I think Easy Mike's been pointing out that we don't really expect a longer term trend until we get closer to the fall. Same thing with oil. Oil's been pretty much 70 to 75, drops below 70 a little bit. When the Saudis cut, we got a little bit of a pop, but dropped down to 70 pretty quick again. So day trade, scalp trade. And again, if it drops below 70 for any distance, we'll pick up that monthly dividend payer USOI, and then we could just sit on it and collect. It pays very nice dividends, so we like that. So does anybody else have any other stocks you want to look at right now in the chat? We can do that. Or if you have any other questions, again, you can always put them in the comments to the video and our Discord, etc. We'd love to have you all join us in the Discords. We can chat 24/7 in the Discord, or at least while I'm at my desk, which, usually afternoons, I'm hopefully on the beach as much as possible. So thank you all for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate all your support. Again, let us know what we can do to improve, help make this more value for all our fellow BeachBum traders. We hope you will share this, our channel, our content with your fellow traders. Let's help continue to grow the BeachBum trading community. It's mutually beneficial for everyone. The bigger our community is, we've got a great community of helpful traders, and we'd love to continue to grow that. So not concerned about USOI. Alan asking, and I assume that's because of the Credit Suisse. I'm watching that. There was a note out that, if they do take any action, there's Credit Suisse. We're currently holding SLVO, GLDI, which are the same Credit Suisse ETNs. USOI is also Credit Suisse ETN. And I'm watching the news. If they talk about discontinuing those, then, we'd look to exit our SLVO and GLDI. And then, if we were in USOI, then I'd exit that. But again, the news was that they'd have to go through a series of notices before they wound those down. So I'm not concerned in the very short term. So again, thank you all for joining us. We hope you have a great trading week. We hope to see you in our Discord during the trading week, and we can continue to chat that. And again, if you have any questions, please let us know there or in the comments to this video, etc. So thank you again for joining us, and good luck, and have a great trading week.